It may be for the last time the Roadrunners take the ice at the TCC. Their future is still up in the air after the Coyotes announced their move to Utah. But it also leaves the future of many youth hockey teams like the Junior Roadrunners up in the air. For more, we bring in our Sean Mahoney, who joins us live outside the TCC now. And Sean, if the Roadrunners move to Tempe, how would that affect our junior teams here?
Yeah, well, Mary, it will all boil down to time on the ice and how much of that will be available here at the TCC. Now, currently, because of the Roadrunners playing at the arena, some of that ice time can extend all the way until as long as early June, depending on their playoff run, which also allows for youth hockey teams to use that time. Now that question up in the air if the Roadrunners do move. However, Junior Roadrunners officials tell me they do plan on having time on the ice, but if the Roadrunners leave, it could drastically shorten the opportunities for hockey players here in Southern Arizona.
It's been devastating for our program as a whole, especially the kids.
Youth hockey teams around the Old Pueblo have been on edge, not only because of the uncertainty of ice availability, but because of the notoriety the Roadrunners bring to the game in Tucson.
And it's something we advertise here and you see on the board for Roadrunner games. It's how to get your kids started in hockey. So we've had many kids come through the program over the years that start in that Learn to Play program.
Just watching the Roadrunners has brought dramatic growth to participation in the sport.
When we started, we had about 30 kids. Now we have about 230 kids. So the growth has been really exponential, especially since the Roadrunners got to town.
And now the fear is, without them, that could pull kids away from the ice.
So to lose that influence would be, it'd be definitely a setback for our program, because that's how we infuse new kids into our program every year.
But it doesn't necessarily mean the game will die in the desert. DeJoe says they will have ice time in the future. How much, though, is the real question.
We've heard the same things everyone else has heard. We've heard that the arena's going to keep the ice in here, but in terms of how much ice we get and when, we're not sure yet, and we're not sure it'll be as robust as when the Roadrunners are here.
Junior Roadrunners contracts times for the ice through the TCC, but without the team playing in Tucson, it could cut back the availability by months.
I mean, the Roadrunner season now through playoffs can go through June. The U of A season is robust, but it still ends in early March, so it's hard to say, when ice will be available during those times.
In the meantime, the program is doing what it can to lobby for the Roadrunners to stay.
We're trying to let the Phoenix hockey community know and the Coyotes owner know how important this team is to Tucson.
All for the kids, even DeJoe's.
I had my 4-month-old son I brought last week, and it was very sad that this might be the last time I get to bring him to a Roadrunner game.
Now, DeJoe says he hopes that the Roadrunners will stay through their contract here at the TCC, which would be 2 more years. That way, it would provide a seamless transition once that contract is over to the point where the Keno Sports Ice Complex will be built. And if you want to know how much the Roadrunners mean to the fans here, as I was standing here as that story played, multiple people coming up to me saying they hope the Roadrunners don't leave, some with tears in their eyes, employees very emotional, as well as this may be the last game in the TCC. Our Damian Alameda will have more in sports later on in the show. Reporting live from outside the TCC, Sean Mahoney, 13 News.